It's time for the finals in both the National Basketball Association as well as the National Hockey League. We will start first with the NHL, the Nashville Predators versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. Game 1 was yesterday. Pittsburgh won 5-3, jumped out to a quick 3-0 lead. But what is interesting is that the 5 goals, out of the 5 goals that Pittsburgh had, they got those 5 goals on just 12 shots. They jumped out 3-0. Basically, Nashville was done by a 4-minute stretch where they had 2 penalties, and so they were down 2 men, and Pittsburgh jumped out to the league. But then the clamps came out. And as I said in my confirmation bias, defense winning championships is definitely going to be tested, and we're seeing it right now. So the question I want to put out there for you guys first, which period, the first period or the last 2 periods, do you think was a proper foreshadow for the rest of this series? Is it going to be the offensive explosion, or is it the clamp job that came down?
Well, I fully believe it's the second and third period. Right. For one, they robbed my man of a goal.
Yes.
Which is very unpopular. They called it offsides when Mr. Subban got the first goal quick, too. And then that changed the dynamic because then the penalty came.
Right.
And then they got the power play goal, and then they got one right after that.
Right.
And even though it was 5-3, one of those was in garbage time when they went
exactly.
into goal.
Yep.
So 37 minutes they went without a shot on goal.
That's
37 minutes.
That's a clamp job.
With all that Hall of Fame talent on offense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's that.
And you can't, with them being short, you can't put that on the rest of the game, like the rest of the series. They're not going to be short-handed for the rest of the series like that.
Right.
So what happened in the second and third is more likely what's going to happen for the rest of the series.
Well, but the reason why it may be foreshadowing is because all season they've had this ability, whether they play good, whether they play bad, to still win.
Mm-hmm.
And that means something, meaning you figure out a way to win when you don't play good.
Right.
And that, especially in the finals, that's something that...
The final. Stanley Cup final. They have the whole thing about it. I'm serious.
Finals? Shit. Now I'm done. Some respect on my name.
Final?
I didn't have the white privilege of watching this game.
Oh, my God.
I wanted to ask you guys, was there anything that the Predators did that could give you hope that maybe they can bounce back after a game like Game 1?
The strap-tastic.
Yeah,
for real. They had 12 shots on goal.
Yeah, their defense is outstanding.
Yeah.
Their defense is outstanding.
Who leads the defense, Kenyon?
His name is PK
Subban.
But it's also the great goaler. Is it Rene?
Don't ask me to pronounce it.
Rinne.
Mr. Rinne is also. I mean, there's a few guys on there. This is Nashville. This is a team, and we've talked about it before in previous shows. This is a team to really get into. This is a team of a bunch of veterans that have been cast off and from different teams, and they've come together. And I really think they got some magic there. If they can get Game 2 and then get it back to Nashville where it is crunk.
Yep. I think it goes 7.
Yeah.
If they win Game 2.
If they win Game 2.
Yeah.
So if it goes 7, you got Pittsburgh winning?
No, I think they have Pittsburgh is the reigning champ.
Yep.
They have the experience.
Yep.
Right now they have
they have the most talented player.
Right. So they have that factor, but the second and third period really is telling. I just think they have to get this game right here, and then that gives them confidence. And they might lose one along the way, but I think it goes 7. And
this feels like the Pistons.
I was just about to say
this
that.
Feels like the Pistons 2004 Pistons. Yep. So, all right. Well, let's segue into the NBA Finals, which begins Thursday. This is round 3 of the Golden State Warriors.
The rubber match.
Versus the Cleveland Cavaliers.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is the third
2.
one. You okay, Omar? You with us today?
It's all right.
And so we'll stay with you, Omar, and tell us
the rubber match.
What do you see happening? Well, first of all, I want to ask you guys. We'll go around. First question: what's the key matchup that you're watching for in this series?
What does Durant do? Does that put him over? Does he put Golden State back over the top?
Is this the referendum on Durant personally, or is this just about Durant being able to be the difference for Golden State this year? from your
Both.
perspective? You think it's both?
But
Okay.
this is definitely a referendum. You know, just mainly on the storyline of this off season and everything, and showing, you know, people accusing him of running from a fight. So, you know, to put it in simpler terms, but if he brings his A game and they work well together, I don't see how Cleveland wins.
What's your key matchup, Dev?
How one team's offense matches up against the other team's defense, because they're both going in opposite directions. I think you got Golden State offense working well against that porous defense of Cleveland. And if you take a look at the IT list Boston Celtics, when they moved the ball and they were carving them up, imagine if it's a superior offensive team. I think Cleveland has a great offensive team, but Golden State is one of the better defensive teams in the league. So they have the better ability to get stops when they need it more so than Cleveland.
You sound like you're on the Jeff Van Gundy train. He feels like this series is going to be a walk, and he's got Golden State winning in 5. Are you with him with that?
I think unless the bunk potato salad rears its ugly head in the locker room, I think it goes 6 for the Warriors. And the reason why I say that is because it's hinged on how Durant actually shows up. The whole bunk potato salad thing came from an inside joke a few months back of how soft Kevin Durant is.
It's actually been about a few years back.
Well, no, the bunk potato salad happened in the Western Conference Finals last year.
It wasn't that long ago when we brought a potato salad.
Yeah, because Kevin, he has to be reminded that to have fun, he had that message on his shoes. Kobe doesn't need that.
Let's keep it real, and we're not taking shots at anyone's mom, but
Yeah.
sometimes when you look at Miss Wanda, she looks like the auntie at the cookout
Who has that horrible
potato salad. Just so you are in on the joke with us. That's what she looks like. And whenever Kevin has a bad game and a big moment, we just chalk it up to he had some bad potato
Nobody
salad.
has the heart to tell her that her potato salad is bad. She's so proud.
She proud, and everybody want to be friends with Kev.
And everybody want to be friends with Kev.
And you know she come up there talking about, I brought my my world famous dish.
Les, what's your key matchup in this finals?
I actually have 2 Golden State players,
Okay.
Steph Curry and Durant.
All right.
Because Steph Curry, his 2 MVP seasons, the finals, he's subpar.
Okay.
Durant, last year, when it came down to game 6 and 7, game 6, last year in the Western Conference Finals, like you guys were talking about, he was 10 for 31.
Okay.
And that was a chance to close Golden State out.
Yeah.
So on this stage, matched up against Kyrie, matched up against LeBron, what are they going to do? Because if they play to how they've played in these playoffs, it's over in 5.
Kevin.
I can't disagree with the points you guys brought up, but I think the key matchup will be Mike Brown. Will can he not lose games for Golden State? And let's keep in mind the Cavaliers are still paying him.
They are.
Are the Lakers still paying him?
That's a huge. The Lakers are still paying him.
yeah.
I think that's
Why
a
y'all
huge
bringing up
conflict
old
of
shit?
I'm just
Keep going, Kevin. Don't cut your
I
brother
think
off,
that's
Devin.
No,
That's
Lakers not
that's
paying
a
him no
huge-
more.
Huh?
That's the huge conflict of interest. And but another thing that I think will have a difference in this matchup is JaVale McGee. Can he neutralize Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love?
look.
shit with a straight face.
Look, one of the Cavs players came out today, of course, anonymously, said that JaVale McGee is not smart enough to play in the finals.
Wow.
It's interesting.
Hey, if he plays anything like he played in those 6 minutes against the Trailblazers early in the series,
Well, here's
might be a sweep.
the thing that's interesting, though, Kevin, and I don't know if you've noticed this, is they don't trust JaVale McGee.
Oh, no.
Whether he plays, well, the thing is
They
this,
shouldn't.
though, whether he plays good or bad, like you talked about the 6 minute stretch against Portland, he only played 15 minutes that game. He does not go over 15 minutes, whether it's right or wrong. And I agree with you that rebounding, which is how they lost last year, I think rebounding is going to be key in this series. Kevin Durant, obviously, he's got to prove it. And I think we're all on the same page with that. So I'm not willing to bank on that. What I am willing to bank on is I know LeBron James is going to be there.
Right.
And they have a decided advantage on the interior. So if they're able to press that advantage, I think it's going to be an interesting series.
The only difference is that this year when Clay's not hitting, it's not Mr. What's goddamn dude from
Harrison Barnes?
Harrison Barnes in the corner. Now it's Durant.
Well, see, and so the one thing that I would say to that is this Golden State team has not been tested at all this year. And in the games where they have been challenged, they revert back to hero ball between Steph and Kevin. That ball movement you're talking about, I think that's the key. Can they, in a competitive environment, stay with the ball movement, stick to the script, run the plan? Because if they go to that hero ball, that's an advantage for Cleveland.
So basically, it sounds like it's up to them.
Right. Absolutely.
So they should win.
They should win.
They should
Yes.
win. I think
I think we're all in agreement on
Let's
that.
just hope they save this postseason.
Yeah, they better save it.
Captain Save a Hose.
Save them hoes.